You could be the most talented man or woman in the world and yet be homeless sitting on the side of the street. Your talent doesn't matter as much as what you do with it.
Let me upgrade. Let me upgrade. You flip the one page. Introduce you to some new things and upgrade. Can I upgrade?
Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Deirdre here, and today we are talking about consistency over talent. But also, consistency creates talent if you feel like you don't have any. I'm telling you right now, if you feel like you don't have a talent, if you feel like you don't have a purpose, if you feel like you don't know what you're doing, if you feel like you don't have the thing that's going to get you to where you want to be in life, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You could be the most talented man or woman in the world and yet be homeless sitting on the side of the street. Your talent doesn't matter as much as what you do with it, as much as the consistency you have, as much as the discipline you have. So our quote of the day is by Michael Hyatt, and he says, "Consistency is better than perfection. We can all be consistent, but perfection is impossible." So there's this book called 10,000 Hours that a friend recommended to me that I want to read that essentially says anything that you want to pursue, anything that you want to do, you can become good at if you put 10,000 hours into it. You look at Kobe Bryant, he's an all-time famous athlete, and if you've seen any of his interviews talking about his past, his ability to become the basketball player he was, it wasn't because he had that natural talent like maybe Michael Jordan did, but he focused so much on the practice, on the fundamentals, on learning the game, because he wasn't someone that maybe necessarily had that natural talent, and yet he became as good as he was. So stop sitting here and acting like because you weren't born or gifted with this ability to be an amazing artist, an ability to sing like freaking Beyonce, doesn't mean you can't pursue something that you have a passion, a desire, and interest in, and still be very successful in that thing. Now let me talk to you extra talented people who are wondering why you're not famous right now, who are wondering why you're not successful right now, who are wondering why your shit just isn't popping off yet. Stop thinking that just because you're good at something, that you're better than these other people, that someone who has half that shouldn't deserve it either. First of all, take out the comparison. Second of all, look at what you're doing. The real question is, do you have consistency with what you're doing? Do you have discipline with what you're doing? You can be so wonderful at anything, but you also see how many people are not wonderful at things, and yet they still get to where they want to be. I'm just gonna say it, maybe they want it more than you. Maybe they want it more than you because they had to work harder for it, because they didn't have that natural talent. You have to look at things from a different perspective. If you have talent and you want to be bigger than you are, you still have to work at it just as hard as if you didn't have that talent. Now don't get me wrong, if you guys have seen me before, I'm all about the self-care. I'm all about not working hard all the time. And when I say that, I mean your intention and your ethic when you're doing something. That doesn't mean you should be putting your whole life into this one thing to where nothing else matters. I don't believe in that mentality. I think it's toxic. I think it leads you to burnout, and that's not what I'm saying. But there is a level of longevity, a level of discipline, and a level of consistency that is the only thing that is going to get you to where you want to be. Whether it's a personal goal, whether it's a professional goal, whether it's a business goal, anything you're doing requires you to play the long game if you want to see benefits that are going to be long lasting. If you don't just want a short-term satisfaction. Everyone wants to be viral these days, but is that virality going to realistically get you to where you want to be? Are you ready for that virality? Have you created a brand? Have you created an environment that would sustain that virality, that would turn it into something that's going to benefit you? Sometimes it's really easy to look at somebody else's life and assume that they didn't work hard for it. Sometimes it's really easy to look at someone else and assume that it happens like that. But you don't know anything about the work that was done behind the scenes. You don't know anything about how many hours they put into this. You don't know any of that. Assumptions and comparison are the worst thing to exist, honestly. And when you do that, instead of comparing yourself to your past self and how much you've improved from that, you become caught in this loop of stagnancy. You need to fall in love with the journey, because if you don't, you're never going to make it to where you want to be. Don't forget that the journey towards achieving what you want consists of the things that you will be doing once you get there. So if you're not falling in love with that, then you're not going to love it when you get there. It doesn't just stop once you get that accolade, you get that promotion, you get that raise. Life goes on. So if you're not loving the journey and you're just so obsessed with the goal, once you get there, you're going to be no more satisfied than you were doing the work. People often get stuck at the point where they're right before the success that they desire, and they give up, they fail, they stop. The more you try to love and be grateful for where you are on the journey, the more you're going to be happy with the outcome when it finally arises. The more you're going to be happy with your life once you get that thing, because the thing is not gonna last forever. The thing is a short-term gratification. All that long-term work you did, yes, there is some level of satisfaction, of relief once you finally get what you've been wanting in life. But that is just one stop on a long path of your life. Note to Self by J. Cole. If you listen to that outro from his album Forest Hills Drive, you see that one thing he says when he's doing his credits is, I don't care how good this thing does. I don't care how good this album does. We really did that shit. We put our all. We created something amazing. We created something beautiful. And I'm so excited because what we've done here is amazing. And he knew that before people came and listened to that. He felt that throughout the creation process. He enjoyed what he was making and putting into this world, that the outcome of how people perceived it didn't even matter as much. But that's the point. If you're not loving everything that was involved in the creation, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you're not seeing yourself doing this thing past what other validation you're going to get from someone else, past what accolades you're going to get, past what money you're going to get for that thing, then it's not going to be as fulfilling as you think it is. We all need money in this world, and I'm not denying that fact. It's nice to feel a little chunk of change in your pocket, but at the end of the day, it's just a piece of paper. Is that fulfilling you the way a passion, a purpose, the excitement of trying something new, the excitement of being with friends and family? Like what is of value in this life? I know it seems like a lot of the times you have to chase a check, chase a bag to get to where you're wanting to be in life, but realize that that's not the most important thing. The worst advice anyone could give you is to say, follow the money. Unless you want to sell your soul or something. And although I agree with the quote earlier mentioned about how everyone can be consistent, but no one can be perfect, I will say everyone can be consistent, but everyone won't be. And that is what's going to set you apart. They may be a little more skilled in this area. They may have a little bit more than you in this area, but do they show up every day? Do you show up every day in whatever that looks like for you and whatever it is you're trying to create in your life? Showing up is more important than being perfect. Showing up is more important than doing it right all the time. So realize that you need to show up regardless of everything else. You need to show up even when you don't feel like it. You need to show up even when people telling you it's not going to work out. You need to show up even if you're fearful. You need to show up, okay? Just show up. So get your calendar out, get your notebook out, get whatever it is you need out. I'm talking to the talented and the talentless. You're not really talentless. You just believe you do, and that's not a good thing. And if you're here because of that, then I hope this is changing your mindset, because you can do anything you put your mind to. I say this probably every freaking motivational video, but what is it you want to do? What is it you want to create? What goal is it that you want to achieve? Write it down and put a consistent basis of effort towards that thing, whatever it looks like for you. What are the actions I need to do 3 times a week, 1 time a week, every day? What is it that I need to do? And stop lying to yourself. Stop breaking your promises. It's time to get it together. I'm done. I'm done with you. Get it together. I'd be done with me too, because I do that shit all the time. And 2025 was the year for me where I'm stopping that shit. It's okay to falter. I'm not saying we don't make mistakes, but I continue to show up even when I do. Let's say you don't be consistent for this amount of time. That is okay. That doesn't mean you stop completely. That means you get right back on the horse and you say, all right, here we go again. You don't pity yourself. You don't get sad. You don't curl up. You just say, all right, let's do it again. All right, let's try this again. And you get up and you go. Okay? So please give this video a like, give it a subscribe, stay tuned. If you need your daily motivation, follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I post shorts there so you can see me every day, so I can motivate you, so I can make sure you get up in the morning and you make your bed, so I can make sure you get up and you eat your greens, so I can just, help you out a little bit. Let me upgrade you, because that's what we're doing around here. And if you're not about that life, goodbye. But if you are, hello, join the family, and I'd love to see down in the comments below what it is that you guys are trying to achieve. What's that thing? What's that goal? I don't care if you were a software engineer for the past 10 years and now you want to be an actress. I want to see you do that shit. And don't think that, I don't know, I think sometimes we are so set on being in a big space when we achieve something, or success is seen in such huge margins. Success is booking a movie role with A24, or success is being a singer on this specific stage. Success as a chef is working at a 5-star Michelin restaurant, and that doesn't have to be success for you. I just want to put that out there, that that doesn't have to be the goal for you. You can go for the biggest of the big, and I love that for you if that's what you want to do, because I'm the same way. I like to do that shit too. But if it's a passion that you have that is more of a hobby, or a passion that you have that isn't something that you are trying to create your lifestyle out of, you can be happy with performing at a public theater in your community. You can congratulate yourself for that shit. You don't have to have this huge audience or this huge accolade to give yourself some props for what you've done. Some of the most satisfying accomplishments in your life may be your inner work, maybe how you've changed your mind and your perspective on life, maybe have been a trauma that you've overcome. One of the biggest compliments I've received is how peaceful I look within my life. And oh my gosh, do you know how much of a goal that has been for me, to be able to set aside certain things that are happening around me or within my life and come to peace? Thank you, because I've been working on that shit. You know what I mean? For me, because I know who I am and I know what I've been working on, that kind of thing, to be seen by someone else, is so satisfying, is so fulfilling, is a nice little boost. Even more so than maybe someone saying, wow, that dessert you just photographed is so beautiful. This is so amazing. Yes, these are both things that I care about, but oh my gosh, maybe the peaceful thing was 10 times harder than me photographing that beautiful dessert. So for someone to recognize that inner work that I did is amazing and much more satisfying than that picture being recognized. So all that to just say that your goals don't always have to be based on how the outer world is going to perceive you doing something. Your goal can be based on your inner world, on your inner work, on who you are being from the inside out. I did not mean to go that far, guys. I'm so sorry. We're done. Let me stop there before I keep going, because I can go on and on and on. And I can't wait till one day, I'm just in a room with you guys and we're chatting and we're having these kind of conversations and we're just opening up about these awesome topics, because I love this stuff. And I just want you all to see how you can create any kind of life you want to live for yourself. And you can choose what's important to you, and you can choose what you believe, and you can choose how you live. It is all up to you. Don't let these arbitrary rules, these arbitrary boxes that the world has created dictate and determine your life, please. Because someone once created all this shit that we live in. They chose it, so choose it for yourself. Anyways, like I said before, please give this video a like and subscribe to stay tuned. I will see y'all next week, wherever you're at, whatever time it is. Good morning, good evening, good night. Love ya. Goodbye.